What's up, everybody? Brad here from Wartorn Creative. Gavin and Jared right next to me. Once again, we learned about large models last. Now we're learning about infantry. Gavin, quick but concise. Tell us all the stuff.
All right, so we got a little bit into cover, some objective advantages, and what your infantry can do now. We've been given a lot of hints at what infantry is able to do, like retreating out of combat and stuff like that. So we didn't get much here, but we had some juicy bits. And that's cover advantages, in that it's gonna work a lot more like Age of Sigmar, where if you're in cover, it's going to be doing your saving throw is going to be improved. Right. So we've already seen that AP reduces your cover save. Now we have a way to counteract that by being in cover. So rather than taking a cover save, an invuln save, or an armor save and just cherry picking which one's best or which one applies to the situation, we're getting to the point where, okay, maybe I need to be hiding behind this chest-high wall. But you know, a last cannon might still be able to blast a hole in your chest if you got the aim right.
But what we've seen is infantry is, possibly the only one who can take advantage of a lot of these cover things.
Oh, so this is another really big deal. We're going to see things. I mean, we've already had in 7th edition all this information about like different unit types being able to use cover differently, where vehicles needed a % of their model covered. Monstrous creatures, same way, unless it's an area terrain. And now that's just kind of out the window. It's like, nope, unless you're infantry, you're not getting any benefit from this cover.
I feel like it's safe for us to speculate that.
Yeah.
Because Age of Sigmar had a similar thing where behemoths and larger models can't benefit from cover. And I mean, that's obvious. It's too big. You're not gonna. A card effect is not gonna do well hiding behind a mailbox.
Right. Exactly. No, he's definitely gonna benefit. The one shot that gets shot is gonna hit the mailbox. He's safe. Yeah. Like, come on.
+1.
There's no way.
+1 to a save.
No way.
A 2-up card effect.
So then if you go on to like the objectives and the advantages that troops get with objectives and holding objectives and the possibilities there. Right now, in 7th you see
we have
this, like, secure objectives and
yeah.
stuff like that. So how do you see that going into 8th?
Well, we from our switch from 6th to 7th, we went from having only troops scoring to now everything can score, and now it seems like we may be taking a step back and only infantry being able to score again. So no more empty rhinos sitting on objectives.
I know that Hugh had a different thought a little bit, didn't he?
It could be more in the way of, again, Age of Sigmar being the beta test for this, is that a lot of their mission types clarified that in order for you to take credit for an objective or hold an objective, it was a certain amount of models within range. And lo and behold, a lot of the models, the one unit type that has the most models is infantry.
Right. So if I pull up with, a single independent character, you pull up with
Some
5
boys,
to 10, infantry, you have the advantage.
Yeah, I have the advantage. Yep. Power and numbers.
So that's pretty simple. So the bigger thing that we found out with infantry is this whole new strength and toughness table.
Yep.
So I'm going to my man over here.
You gotta hold your flashlight tight because it's good now. Whew. So we have this new strength and toughness chart that Games Workshop has shown. It's actually probably the most simplified form of this. It's no longer this versus that, and you'd always do you modify it by 1, or you do this weird thing where you take the strength and then you take the toughness and subtract it by the strength, add 4, and see what your roll is. I botched that equation. It's entirely different.
Anyways, onto the chart.
Onto the chart that Games Workshop has shown us. They've pretty much simplified it. It said if everything's equal, 50-50 chance. You get a 4+. If it's greater than the toughness, you get at least a 3+. If it's twice or more, you get a 2+. And then going the other way, if the strength is lower, you get a 5+. And if the strength is half, you get a 6+. Now, I went into a bit more with that and kind of drawn out a chart for that we have here. And basically what it shows is that you can, first off, it's gorgeous. It looks like a sword stabbing. And
it does, actually.
Yeah, but it shows that there's an upward trend of effectiveness for most weapons. Las guns will always be effective no matter what, at least at worst a 6+. which is a saving grace for really a lot of situations and a lot of armies.
We're going to see a lot of flashlights going off at
Melting.
land raiders and knights and all things like very high toughness things, and still being able to do something about
And
it.
the interesting thing is the two tables, as you compare them, 7th versus 8th, you know, you see the strength, you know, on the 7th, it's going up to 10.
Yep.
And on yours, it's going over 10. Now,
Yeah,
we haven't seen anything that has said, hey, it's going to be over that.
From their, they've clarified in one we've talked about in this in a previous video that they've raised the cap. They've gotten rid of the strength 10 cap because no longer are dreadnoughts going to be strength 10, even though they're technically strength 12 when they punch things. Well, their strength is different now. It is now going to be this whole system where, well, we have a lot of things now being toughness 8.
Right.
And with this new simplified chart, you'll find that wounding on 2s is going to be pretty rare.
Oh, yeah.
Because with this new chart and how simplified it is, if something is toughness 8, like Gorkanaut or Morkanaut, you're going to need strength 16 in order for you to actually wound it on a 2+.
And I imagine we may see something like that on a Battle Titan, and maybe even on some of the things that used to be Strength D, depending on the, I guess, fluff behind how powerful that weapon was supposed to be. But I don't think we're going to be seeing anything that many.
We would have to see exceptions with like some particular anti-vehicle weapons or like Melta. We haven't seen Melta yet. But for the most part, things are looking good for weapons that are weak and toughnesses that are high.
Right.
So there's a balancing factor in that. High toughness guys are doing okay because you can't wound them, or for vehicles you can't wound them or penetrate them on anything better than a 3. And for weapons like lasguns, I can still hurt things on a 6. It's making it a 6 is still not likely because again, everything that got crunched from vehicles and things like that, like Land Raider will probably have a 3+ save or even a 2+ save. We don't really know, but I can safely say that it's going to get a 3+, which is, you know, when you have all these guardsmen hitting on 4, and then I have to wound on 6, and then you take your 3-up saves because, well, flashlights aren't going to have any AP unless it's +1.
Get better armor against this.
Get buffed by the Emperor's Light. But in the whole spectrum, I think this is a better equalizer because no longer, as you see in the 7th edition chart, there's just this blackout of just like useless.
Right.
Nothing works here. Can't be done.
I mean, I'm
Get
very
wrecked.
familiar to everybody going into that darkness with me. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you actually, the only trouble you've ever run into with your Eldar is going up against armor 13 and 14 things.
That's the only time that I run into stuff, and then everybody runs into it against like my Wraith Guard.
Till you throw your knight at it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
But it's interesting to see. So we'll no longer have these situations where like, oh, you killed the only answer that I had to probably your powerhouse units that I couldn't hurt, like your Wraith Knight. You know, if you killed all of somebody's Leman Russes and all they had was flashlights, or really anything that was like what, strength 5 or lower, or strength 4 or lower on the chart, you couldn't touch it.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've dealt with before on the table, where like all of my answers were taken away, and then it's just stand there and take the beating or concede.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna I guess I try to play exclusively the objective game while trying to run away from you this whole time, or I concede.
So I think Games Workshop has, again, made another good decision, in my opinion, of making everything have its moment. Because, to be fair, how epic would it be to have a lasgun take the last wound off of a Wraith Knight?
It was pretty epic just having a lasgun take a wound off of my Swarm Lord in the last game I played. So knowing how exciting that was, even on the negative end of that, it's going to be really exciting to see some off-brand weapons taking out huge things, you know, once in a blue moon every now and then.
Emperor's Finest will hold the line yet again.
Yeah.
So infantry, obviously getting stronger with the strength and the toughness table coming out. That about wraps it up for everything that we know so far about infantry and what we think is going to be happening.
No, we're going to go in a different direction.
We're going to go in a different direction.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
Totally forgot.
Totally
I'm splitting us off.
Actually, we're going in multiple directions because split fire.
Wait, which direction are you going in?
I'm going to go middle.
I'm going to go to the right.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna go up.
There we go.
Got a floor above me.
there you go. So they've talked about the possibility, well, not really possible, they've clear-cut said
Yep.
that, hey, you have this unit, a missile can go this way, a flamer can go that way, and bolters can go this way. They've
So this tactical flexibility of Space Marines and any other unit that has something
Mixed
similar to
weapons
that
and things
is
like that.
really. I mean, I just gonna call it a straight up buff.
Yeah, it's going to be a buff for infantry across the board because you'll have guardsmen that'll be rocking with lasguns and flamers or grenade launchers or heavy weapon teams even.
All of a sudden, your units that you could build, and it's something that newer players used to do all the time, is mix and match.
Yeah, rule of cool.
And it was the rule of cool. Yeah, so you wanted to have a flamer, and I like grenade launchers, and I want a sniper too. That unit, I mean, honestly, in 7th, that sucked. It wasn't specialized. It didn't do one thing right enough.
Your
and
unit was-
now you can be like, we know from another post they've done that snipers are going to be able to do some special things. We know that flamers are already pretty cool.
Yep.
So maybe mix and match.
Yeah, mix
Make
and
it so
match
you
is
can take all
definitely-
comers in with a single squad.
No longer will my Space Marines have to combat squad, and one unit's just going to have to sit in ruins with his last cannon bro, and just while the other guys play poker.
Yeah.
While they plink away. While the
Eat
guy plinks
Cheetos,
away.
you mean?
Yeah, Cheetos.
So infantry buff, they can split fire, they got new strength and toughness. Now I didn't forget anything. I know.
There we go.
Everything has
Shame
been
on me.
resolved, which is another thing. There, I speculate that when you do split fire,
Yeah.
you're going to have to declare everything because it's, again, much like the Age of Sigmar
Yep.
thing. You have to declare all your shots, resolve them as needed.
Right, which if you play any vehicles or like gargantuan monsters, creatures, I can talk, don't worry.
There.
You know, and you can shoot multiple targets, you have to declare them.
I
before the
imagine
turn.
all units will
So
be
very
able to do
similar.
that, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, sounds awesome. It sounds like how actual battles should be.
Yeah,
Right.
of course.
Oh yeah, no, makes
Dude,
sense.
who you gonna shoot at? I'm gonna shoot at that guy over there. Oh,
Well,
me
now
too,
we
bro.
all
Let's-
have to do that.
Let me
Hey, you
dedicate.
gonna shoot at him
let
too?
me-
Yeah. I'm gonna shoot him too.
Let me dedicate this bolter to the rear armor of a Chimera when I could just shoot these guards.
Yeah.
in, you know.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. So awesome. So now does that do it for the video? Do I get your approval?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
resolved everything.
The Emperor approves.
It's resolved.
And he
the
protects.
Emperor approves and protects.
Omnicide
Like,
blesses
comment,
us as well.
subscribe, do all the fun things. Let us know what you guys think about infantry. If you're going to be rocking more infantry, if you're going to bring infantry back into your list, what are you going to do? What are you going to play? We'll see you guys next time.